Hello everyone, welcome to the monthly reading for February 2024. This is for the collective, and before we jump right into it, I actually forgot on the last weekly video to tell you guys to please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and please share with anybody that may need to hear the messages that come through. So, sorry guys, I'm a little sleep deprived, so please bear with me. And any comments or anything, please put down below. You guys know I love reading the comments. All I ask is just to be kind, and that's it. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. Same spread, same decks, but the decks have been mixed up order-wise and obviously shuffled. So let's begin, guys. What do we need for February? Let's hope it's a good February. Oh, look what I love. Sun, enjoy success and happiness. Okay. So there's not too much to say about the sun. This is actually pretty straightforward. We really need to find some more joy. I love hearing something like this, especially what I've been going through. So we really need to be finding the more positive moments. We really need to be finding more of the joyful moments. But also too, it's the sun also represents success, and this is kind of about celebrating success. So already right off the bat, you guys know sometimes I pick up the energy like very quickly, meaning like, not quickly, but sometimes the energy, the first cards are like pretty strong, and can kind of give me, foreshadow of like the rest of the reading. I know we just picked one card so far, but it looks like February is going to be a little bit of a lighthearted month, which I know everybody's taking a sigh of relief with me here, right? Boy, that is a relief, right? So, so sun, so enjoy success, happiness, find joy, that kind of thing. We need it, so make it happen, okay? Action needed. All right, so this one is also about making it happen. We have upside down, we have saboteur, okay? We have shadow in the shadow attribute. We actually had this for the weekly. The last weekly was half of January going into February, so this makes sense that this came up. Induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. It actually came in the issue, I think, last time. Induces self-destructive. Okay, so this was about sabotage energy. And guys, let me know down below if it resonates with you, if that, if something kind of came up where you felt like somebody was trying to sabotage you, or you found yourself sabotaging yourself, but kind of the same thing. This is actually to stop the sabotaging. So this tells me that it's going to mesh into February, obviously, since this is the monthly reading. So because it's under action needed instead of issue, it feels like it's being resolved, right? Because we're actually taking action towards it. So we might not get resolved from the weekly, but from that last week of January into February, but we're definitely going to get the resolution in February. So if it feels really tough and you feel like you didn't stop somebody from sabotaging you, or you feel like they got away with something, or you can't stop your self-sabotaging behavior, don't worry. It feels like in February you start to get out of your own way, and really, leave room and make space for going forward, for not standing in your own way anymore. There's not too much more I can say about that. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Issue, come to the edge. Okay, makes sense. Look at, what did I just say? I said it's coming to an end. The come to the edge, even though there's no 9 energy on here, it is 3 and a 6. That does add up to 9. But come to the edge is about doing something right before jumping off, really getting off to that jumping off point, right? And so it is under issue though, okay? So it definitely does feel like it's coming, like I said, it feels like the self-sabotaging stuff is coming to an end, the sabotaging stuff is coming to an end, but the issue here is that we may not be ready to leap necessarily quite yet. So let's put it this way. I know I talk about like limbo energy, and I haven't really like talked about it in a while. And I haven't seen the Between Worlds card in a really long time. So like I said, I definitely do feel like we're more into that new life, into that new forward energy, into that new change. However, there is, maybe I'll call it the void, because it's not like as big as limbo, but it's like more so like a void. So it means that, yeah, it's coming to an end, but maybe you're not necessarily ready to jump off into the, to go forward. So something ends, but you're not necessarily moving forward. That's like the best way I can kind of put it. Which is totally fine, because we're being present, we're taking a minute. I wouldn't be surprised seeing this energy, feeling this energy here, that we get either the waiting for the oracle or the graceful movement and action card. the Shaylin MasterCard, because it does feel like, you know, it's saying that it's not necessarily saying like it's a calculated move before jumping in, but it's not any kind of rushed energy or making a quick decision type energy, or any kind of accelerated energy, which we were feeling going into the new year. So it just feels like we are closing something up, but maybe not necessarily moving forward. And that's okay. We actually want to be there like it's a positive thing, okay? So what other challenges or issues that we have? Follow your heart. Okay, so that's going to be a challenge this week. Very interesting. So something tells me, guys, I'm getting relationship stuff through here. So that's going to make me curious to see what comes up in a romantic connection here, and even friends. But I'm definitely feeling like we're having an issue following what we truly want, what our heart is telling us to do, but maybe doesn't align intuitively what our gut is telling us to do, or align, you know, with what our thoughts are, so our mind. So it's almost like I feel a conflict between mind, body, I would say mind, soul, and heart, mind, and soul. Okay, so that's what I definitely feel, and it feels like relationships. So there might be, let's just put it this way, it doesn't feel like conflict, because I definitely get a different energy with conflict. It just feels like the best way I can say it, pretty straightforward. I know it's not super detailed, but you're just going to have an issue following your heart, what your heart is calling you to do, okay? So that's going to be the challenge, and like I said, it feels like it has something to do with our relationships. So what's actually changing? Okay, Hunter, track down your fears and desires. Perfect. What's changing is we're becoming less afraid. We're becoming less fearful. Things don't scare us anymore. This is creating more power within us. We're not scared of anything anymore. More warrior energy. You guys know I love that warrior energy. It's the hunter, right? And so it's like you're hunting down your fears, killing them so your desires can come through. So there are going to be certain things. I'm sorry, I think I've been saying month, guys. Sorry, this is February 2024. For the month, we're definitely going to be practicing. I don't want to say removing fear, guys, because a lot of people have fear and do it anyway, right? You don't have to eliminate fear. You're a human being. It's very natural. Some things you should be afraid of, right? Be cautious about. Very normal stuff, but you do it anyway. You conquer it anyway. It's that warrior energy. It's like moving through it. So definitely because of this, our passions are becoming more of a calling. Like we're not going to be able to ignore our passions anymore. So a lot of you guys that I read for the yearly, when I did your cards yearly, I got a lot of stuff around, like finding clarity. Okay, like the clarity being like this year, it's not a problem in general about taking action. And in order to take action, we need to take an intentional action. And so we need clarity for that, right? So a lot of you guys that have been confused about certain things in life are definitely clearing things up this year, and it's starting to change in February. So if you're listening to this and you're saying, well, I don't know what I desire, trust me, it'll become very apparent, okay? It'll become very, very apparent this month. Things will get a lot clearer. So you'll know what direction to go in, right? Because when you're a hunter, you have to know what your prey is. You have to know what you're hunting down, right? You have to have a target, okay? And so the target is going to get clearer. Okay, hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Focus. What do we need to focus on? Hedonist. Okay, so we have inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Guys, I swear I shuffled these. But this came in for the weekly as well. But it came in the other way. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Okay, so this is about the pleasures. And so it's under the sun. So this is saying, what do we focus on? The things that are pleasurable to us, the things that are fun, the things that light us up, the things that we desire. Seeking things from a more pleasurable, fun, playful focus. And honestly, like, again, this is kind of coming from personal life, relationships, like things like that. I'm definitely getting that energy, but obviously could be like career as well and other areas of life. But it does feel like we just need to focus on that. Just focus on more like playful energy and that type of stuff. yeah, there's not too much more I can say about that. I remember it came in the weekly under reflect, which again are similar energies, the focus and reflect, but it came in the shadow, and that kind of more same came up around watching our addictions and things like that, or this is kind of like opposite energy. So it's a positive thing. It's definitely a positive thing, like focusing on our pleasures and stuff like that. So that tells me that potentially, like that last week going into the beginning of February, where we figured out a way to balance things, center ourselves, and how do I say this? Know when we've had enough. Know when too much is too much. So indulge is on the card, right? They use the word indulge. It's totally fine to have a piece of cake, okay? It's not about eating the whole cake every day, okay? That's not what the Hadanis is about. It's about finding that balance, okay? So giving yourself the cake, but also like not eating the entire thing, okay? By the way, if you eat an entire cake, I'm not judging you. I've been there. but I think you guys understand what I'm saying, okay? We have reflect. We have drink more water. Okay, so this to me is just about taking care of ourselves, because water is really a basic thing that all of our bodies need. So obviously we need to just drink more water. There's not too much I can say, but it's not super, guys, don't take it super literal. These are oracle cards, so it's not always, obviously like super literal, but taking care of our bodies, the basics. So reflecting on how we're taking care of ourselves, reflecting on our wellness. So very interested to see what the health and wellness is. But other than that, just saying, take care of the basics. Okay, let's move on to responsibilities. Medicine guardian, be open to healing information. Okay, so this is just being about being open-minded. Being open-minded in general, especially when it comes to healing yourself, repairing yourself, putting something together, something that you haven't, like, it's almost like I'm getting this energy of like, you haven't thought of this quite yet. And so just like be open to other people. Basically what it's saying is like, it's your responsibility to kind of hear people out. Spirit keeps saying like stubborn. So please don't be stubborn, basically, is what Spirit is saying. So that's your responsibilities this week. So just make sure that we're open to other ideas and what people have to tell us, because it definitely does feel like it's part of what we kind of need to be doing this month to kind of get ourselves together, to heal, etc. Okay, we have money and finances. What do we got going on? Okay, we have student, shadow, arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. Okay, so this is a little egoic coming through. So we have money, finances, and career. So what I will say here is, so the arrogance thing is jumping out to me. So this is saying like, just watch an attitude this month of saying like, I already know that, or I don't need to be taught this, or I can do it on my own, right? It's kind of coming off of this stubborn energy. I think that's why I was like hearing that, because this card was going to be pulled. But it's about feeling like you know everything, okay? Guys, I promise you, even if you're an expert in something, and I feel like a lot of us need to hear this out there in the collective, okay, this is for you, anybody that's listening, and definitely do feel like somebody out there needs to hear this, is even if you're an expert in something, there's always more room to grow and learn something new about whether it's your industry, because it's under money, finances, and career. So it could be your industry, it could be how you manage your money, it could be how to make money, et cetera, et cetera. I will say this, guys, not to scare anybody. I never try to scare anybody, but it could affect your finances if you have that stubborn attitude, okay? So be open is basically what Spirit is saying, okay? All right, what's a surprise? Time for a nap. Okay, so definitely going to be a little exhausted this month. Not exhausted, I will tell you, like I'm not feeling like this hustle energy. I'm not necessarily feeling like we're doing too much, any kind of imbalance of any kind. Like I said, with this Hadanis, it feels like we've gotten to a place where we understand the balance, so it's not like we need it anymore. So I'm not necessarily getting like this overwhelming feeling that we are imbalanced. So the time for nap could just be, there's this account on Instagram and I forget what it's called, but it's really just all about like resting. And I don't care how you feel about capitalism. I can go both ways, honestly, and I see both sides. But sometimes we need to just, like, we deserve to rest because we deserve to rest, okay? Because we just exist, okay? It doesn't mean that because we over hustling so much, it doesn't mean that because we have an imbalance. It's just basically saying like, we can enjoy the moment, we can enjoy the present moment. We don't necessarily have to always be doing something, or I see a lot of people like are always turning like their hobbies into a business or ways to make money and things like that, instead of just doing it for the pure pleasure of it, right? Because we have the Adonis and we have the Sun. So really kind of the theme here is really kind of about just doing things to just do things, and it's okay to slow down. Okay, so I'm getting that. Okay, so, and do things that are pleasurable to you, do things that make you happy, do things that make you feel joyful. Okay, so it's under surprise, so it's going to surprise a lot of you guys. Even if you're like, you know what I feel like? The people listening to this message right now, you're like, no, I can't stop. There's too much to do, or I wouldn't enjoy just doing nothing. And it will surprise you, right? So you people that are listening to this and like are denying it, it's you specifically that spirit is talking about. Okay, so prepare to be shocked. Okay, friends, what do we got going on here? Crystals. Okay, so crystals to me, again, not literal, guys. I would say that this is kind of about energy. Crystals are really good energy tool. And kind of about the basics too, a little bit with like drink more water. So just watch your energy when it comes to friends. Pay attention to how your energy feels around certain people, and just pay attention to that. I'll tell you something, it doesn't necessarily feel like there's too many shifts kind of going around, or transformations or endings, or nothing super major like that. But obviously it's coming up, in Spirit is saying that for a reason, but also going back to the follow your heart, it might have something to do with that. Maybe your heart is telling you one thing, but somebody's energy is telling you another. Okay, something along those lines. So let's see what the romantic connection actually is, though. We have Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. Okay, so this is definitely an intuitive type card. Okay. You guys have heard me say this before. Most likely, if you're new, welcome, and you'll hear me say it about 500 more times. Plus, let me see if I can get this right. God, no, I'm not going to get it right. Something along the lines of, oh my God. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that, okay, I got it. Okay, the mind, guys, forgive me. The mind can play tricks on you. Okay, the heart could be blind. Okay, love could be blind. But your intuition is always right. Okay, I'm biased. Okay, I'm an intuition teacher. Okay, so, but it's true. Point blank, it's true. Does it mean that, does heart and intuition align a lot of the times? Yeah, but sometimes they don't. So what I will say is, even though we have this clarity card around change up here, and like I said, I definitely do feel like a lot of us are getting a lot more clarity. I do feel like it's more so on the career side of things, what you want to be doing in life, impact, what you desire in that way. As far as relationships go, I do feel like we might be a little confused, okay? Because we're getting kind of this conflicting energy. Like I said, do they align sometimes? Yes, but not all the time. So really kind of figuring out what our heart wants versus what our intuition says, okay? And if I could just give an example really quick, it's been a long time since I've been in the dating realm, but I've had a few instances for a couple of reasons where my heart says one thing, but my intuition says another, okay? It's confusing. It doesn't make sense. But it does end up making sense as the years go by, kind of connecting the dots, that kind of thing. But that's usually what happens with intuition, guys. Like, if you've ever followed an intuition where you don't really kind of understand it and people are really confused at the decision that you're making, but you just know in your soul of your soul that it's the aligned decision for you, but you don't know why, this kind of feels like a situation like that, okay? So always follow your intuition. It feels like that's what Spirit is trying to, hone in on here. So just pay attention. And that's really kind of all I'm going to say here. But trust. That's the last thing I'm going to say. Trust yourself, trust your intuition. Okay. What do we got going on? Important. Shapeshifter, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Okay, we got this in the weekly as well, not the exact card, but same type energy. We had flexibility, so we have shapeshifter, which is pretty kind of the same, meaning that we're able to be adaptable and flexible, basically. That's the best way I can kind of say it, like change into another version of ourselves, that kind of thing. So that's important this week. It feels like it's more towards career. So it's funny, a few of these different cards in these different slots here are pulling me towards more relationship or a career or something like that. But and sometimes they bleed together, but it feels like they're pretty separate this month. But it does feel like we are potentially changing roles of some kind. Or it's just important to change roles of some kind. Just shifting to a different leadership style or position at work, and it feels temporary, I have to say. So it feels like it's going to be for February, and I feel like I need to say this, and again, I think it's going to resonate with some of you guys. I'm not quite sure what it means, but it's saying it'll get back to normal. Okay, it'll get back to baseline. Okay, so it's the shape shifting is just temporary. It'll get back to baseline. So that's important for you guys to know, apparently. Health and wellness, we have Unfinished Symphony. Here we go. Another card that's more type 9 energy, but there's no 9 on here. This is about similar energy to come to the edge, not exactly ready, but getting ready, basically. And so in order to get ready, we have to do the tasks that are unfinished, making sure everything that's kind of like unfinished that we are tending to. So because it's under health and wellness, this might be returning back to like a healing modality that we started maybe like 3 months ago or something like that. Like going back to something that we've done before that has helped us on our healing journey that maybe we have stopped. Okay, so maybe for you, some of you guys, it was like meditation or something, or any type of, maybe it's like breath work, and you kind of stopped it for a little while and then you pick it up again, because it's going to be helpful this month. So that's what that feels like here. And then last one, overall outcome, we have, stay focused. Okay, so I like this. It's just saying looking forward, stay focused on the prize, right? So I really do feel like that change up there with the hunter, where it's saying like, okay, the prize is the desires. We're not gonna, that's what we're hunting down. That's the target, right? And this is basically saying stay focused. I like that. I like focus on the target is really kind of the overall message here. But also at the same time, it doesn't necessarily feel like acceleration energy. It doesn't necessarily feel like ambitious energy. It feels more like clarity, and it feels like more feminine energy. So it doesn't mean that we're, charging towards what we desire. It just feels like it's getting clearer. We're getting more focused. Because I really do feel like under the actual focus here, Adonis, we have the sun. So this is, and then we have doing more basics, taking care of basic needs. So this is really about taking care of ourselves as well. I would say that's more of the main focus here, but also creating that clarity so we can move forward because we're ready to kind of jump off the edge. Not quite there yet, but we're closing up a few things. But we're almost there, basically. So have fun this month is the best way I can say it. Have fun, be playful, seek out things that are just, pleasurable. And I don't mean to say like, okay, I was actually talking to somebody today and, again, sorry to throw myself in here, but, just simple pleasures I haven't been able to enjoy, in the last like 2.5 years. Like my simple joy was getting a black coffee, and a New York bagel and, smothering it with cream cheese. And that would be my simple joy. It's so good, guys. Oh my God, it's so good. It's worth the hype. It is really that good. I can't have caffeine right now. I can't have coffee because I have to stay extremely hydrated for my healing. I can't have a bagel because I need to stay gluten-free for my healing. I can't have a lot of cheese, so I can't have cream cheese because it's inflammatory, and I need to not have it. I need to refrain from it for my healing. So I literally cannot experience that simple joy, okay? So when I say if this sounds silly to you, simple pleasure, simple joys, it's not silly. I promise you, from somebody that is chronically ill. It's the simple things that we do not, that we do take for granted, and that we don't really understand that these things are so simple. Please sprinkle them in your life, in your world in February. Like, it's definitely much needed. Focus on that type of stuff, okay? Yeah, that's really all I have to say. Okay, it's just a simple pleasure that, you know, when it's taken away from you, that's, you know, the only time that we tend to be grateful. So be grateful now. I promise you guys. Please, if you can eat a bagel today, please eat a bagel for me in my honor, okay? All right, guys, have a wonderful February. I'm actually really excited about this February, okay? Sometimes I'm like, I don't love this energy. You know, the last week of January going into February wasn't wonderful. It seemed like a little up and down here and there. But I'm loving how the rest of February turns out. So guys, have a wonderful month, and I will see you for the weeklies as per usual. And of course, put any comments down below that you have, feedback, etc., etc. Okay, guys, have a wonderful month. Bye.